Hello Hazel.
Hi.
Lovely to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Welcome here today. I hear
you.
you've travelled from London
I have, yeah.
to be with us today.
I have.
So we just want to have a chat with you about, your micro enterprise and your business and what you're doing. And so do you want to tell us what your business is called and a bit about what you do?
So we're Hummingbird Home Helpers.
Uh-huh.
We are based in and around Woodbridge in Suffolk, and it's been going for 6 years now. So it's we provide home help, or I call it independent support.
Yeah.
So support for older adults and people with disabilities to remain independent at home.
Yeah.
So the range of needs is great. So some people just need a little companionship, and other people need multiple visits a week with shopping and appointments and things like that. But we've got it's myself, and then I have 4 people working for me. So we're like a very small little company.
And are they like carers, the people that are working for you?
So no, we don't offer personal care.
Right.
So we provide everything in between sort of needing a cleaner and needing a carer.
Yeah.
So we kind of fill in that gap where for people who know that they need support but don't necessarily need carers, that they're independent enough that they get up, they wash, they dress, they live independently, but it's just that little additional support, the day-to-day things that they, just need that extra little help with.
What kind of things might they do for someone?
I mean, it can be as simple as, so I've turned up to a house and they've had a line of sort of, oh, can you open my tablet bottle, my bleach, and can you stick down the mat because it keeps coming up? Or someone, the car is very helpful. Everyone has a car. So it gives someone who might have given up their car, or their partner's passed away that used to be the driver, giving them that independence to be able to get to the shops where they can't walk there.
Right.
So it could be taking them shopping, and sometimes in someone's week, you coming and picking them up and taking them to the shops. One is maybe the most exercise they're going to do in the week, especially if you go to big Tesco, and 2, the most social interaction they're going to get.
Yeah.
So it seems like sort of simple day-to-day things, but it just makes such a difference to people.
And that social interaction is so important. We hear the stats often, don't we, about loneliness and how that affects people and their actual health, doesn't it? So it means so much.
Yeah.
So how did you actually get started then?
So I used to run pubs from sort of like in my 20s, and then I got a little bit. So I ended up working as a manager in a social club.
Uh-huh.
So it was in Woodbridge, and I ended up working with a lot of older adults because that was the clientele that I was getting in, and I got a little bit sort of at the end of my time with pub work, and I decided that I didn't want to do that anymore. And I saw these people coming in that were very independent in their 90s, who were, going shopping and coming and having a little beer or a cup of coffee. And I thought, it's they need support, but they don't need carers. Exactly what we're doing. So I kind of came up with this concept. Oh, well, I'll just quit my manager's position here and start my own business and see how it goes. Yeah. And so I just started on my own. I just advertised. I got a few people that I knew locally from my community, so I had some neighbours that joined, some people from the social club, and and I gave it a go, and it built and built. COVID came in at some point. It became, I would say just before COVID, I was getting probably enough demand that I thought I might get an extra person to help me out. Mm-hmm. And then COVID came, and I was very busy throughout COVID, but I was doing a lot of shopping for local people. So I think I probably got a little reputation within the town, and all the assistants knew me and everything. And then after COVID, the demand increased massively. I think because of the social isolation that come with it, there was a lot of loved ones who were calling me up and saying, mum, dad, whoever have been isolated for a long time, and I think they just need some extra support. They've kind of gone downhill where we haven't been there. So then, it kind of boosted, and then slowly I've sort of employed as demands come.
Yeah. And we had a little talk just before we started recording, didn't we? We talked about dementia. So you do have quite a few people that you support in dementia in your service?
Yeah, so it was never anything that I had considered when I started that we'd work with dementia, but it became a natural thing because people are living independently at home and develop or have a dementia. And it just became natural in my work that I started working with people who were living with dementia. It's just that their needs were slightly different. We just had to keep an eye maybe on what they were eating, prompting for medication a little bit more. So it became my natural, it became part of my day-to-day sort of work life. Yeah. And I ended up working with a lady who declined significantly throughout COVID, and she wouldn't let any carers in. She'd locked all the doors to everyone who had come. And I met her through a friend and started tiptoeing in sort of a couple of hours a week, telling her I'd help her with her book club meeting that she couldn't access on her iPad. And we started building a relationship, and she started being comfortable around me, and then I'd leave a sandwich. Yeah. And in the end, before I stopped working with her, I was doing 17 hours a week with her. But it took a little bit of time. Yeah. But yeah, so my interest then grew with working with that client group. I really enjoyed the rewarding, the problem solving. Yeah. How can we make this work for this person? How can we make them stay independent as long as possible at home? And seeing that actually work, and then be able to sort of, I got someone to punch the locksmith in town to punch a hole in her purse and attach it for a lanyard to the bag she took everywhere, so she could stop losing her purse. Yeah, brilliant. You know, just like, that's how I kind of got interested in dementia. Yeah.
And how did you get connected into Community Catalysts?
So I actually had already started my business when I met the Community Catalyst team. I saw a poster somewhere and saw the listing, and thought, oh, it would be good to be listed on that. And so I contacted them, and they said, you have to go through this program. And I said, okay, well, that's all right. Sounds good. It's not going to do me any harm, I thought. Yeah. And if anything, it was hugely beneficial. It gave me the connections that I've got now, but also gave me a sort of, I always say it gave me an extra professional touch. They gave me lots of, they gave me like a pack that I could adjust and make a sort of starter pack. So when I met a customer, I could give them all my terms. I could give them all of my my like health and safety.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, all of that. So it helped me with that, and there was a few little things that I maybe have missed, and then just from then on, like it's just been such a blessing to have them as part of like my.
And so are you listed on the Small Good Stuff as well?
Yeah, I've been there for a few years now. Yeah. So
does that help? Do you get referrals through that directory?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, definitely. I've noticed that the social services have started using that a little bit more, and I get a lot of recommendations now through the social services.
Love to hear that.
Yeah, I got a phone call the other day from a guy who was just asking about where exactly we go. Do we go to Felixstowe? I was like, oh, not yet, but if we've got demand, maybe, you know. So it's definitely working in that regard. I can see it. It's definitely a change.
Yeah. And if somebody else was going to start a micro enterprise, would you give them any advice? What would you say?
I would say go for it.
Yeah.
100%. It is like if that's what you want to do and you feel like you're going to do it, you'll get there. And it's such a rewarding job. Just be prepared for it to just take a little bit of time. You have to be in a position where you can kind of allow it to grow. Yeah. Because although I get social services recommendations now, I think it's taken a long time for me to get to the point of being recommended by word of mouth. Yeah. I get recommended. That's most of my clients are from someone else that knows, that uses us. Yeah. So building a reputation, it does take a little bit of time. But once you kind of get that, I mean, as I say, within a year of me starting to do what I did, I was kind of on a roll. Yeah. As I say, COVID stepped me back. But, it's worth it. You just got to give it a little bit of time at the
Yeah.
beginning and build up that reputation.
And if we had any practitioners listening to this recording, would you say anything to them to get more referrals, to help them understand more about your business?
I think, I think that there's a lot more of what I do now, but when I started there wasn't much of it, of this sort of in-between care. And I would say that quite a lot of people need a lot of the support we give. Some also need personal care,
Yeah.
but I work together with a lot of care companies that are based in and around Woodbridge.
That's good to hear.
So I've learnt over time who we work well with,
Yeah.
who I recommend to people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're with someone for years and then their personal care needs change. And they always turn to us and say, can you help and give more? And I actually step back and say, no, perhaps we need to step back one and you bring someone in that can offer you that. And we work at sort of, our rate compared to a lot of the big care companies out there is sort of 30% less. So I think where we fill in a lot of a gap, this more personalised support, because I always say the consistency is key. Having the same person, building this relationship, having that, and then having someone come in and do the personal care as well. We can feed in or feed out as and when the needs. And sometimes it's got to the point with the lady I spoke about, who's the lady I work with dementia. I built my time up with her. We had carers come in as well, and then as her needs got to the point that it was actually beyond what I could do safely, I pulled away and they pulled in. So I think there's such a significant value in the kind of work that we do generally to support older adults. It's just that maybe people don't know that it's there. Yeah. Because they just think it's care or nothing. Yeah.
I think you're right. That people are blurring it too much, aren't they? And I think, again, we were talking earlier, weren't we, about going from, maybe somebody coming in and doing a bit of cleaning for you, and as as things change with your diagnosis, it actually might start taking you into a different kind of care needed, but you've got that trust with somebody like you in your house, because it's a big thing, isn't it? You're inviting somebody into your home.
100%, and sometimes it's not that person's idea.
No.
It might come from a family member, and so my approach is always, look, this is your choice. This is your home. What do you want? Yeah. Because they want us. Your family want us to come in 3 days a week. Yeah. What do you want? Well, I probably only need help once a week. Okay, fine. How many hours? What's the minimum you do? Hour and a half. Okay, we'll do that. And then you go in that approach, and then it becomes that person likes the person that's coming in. They like me. They like whoever it is. Yeah. And then they make the decision to make it 3 times a week over time. Yeah. It's giving that person that. The independence to choose what they want out of you, and that just happens naturally with realising that someone's not a threat, that they're actually really helpful, and you like having them around. Yeah.
And it's real personalisation, isn't it? Yeah. And that's what we're all about, trying to do bespoke packages and get it right for individuals. It was interesting because when you were talking about sort of like your career, you were saying you started off in the pub trade, where was a manager of a pub. One of my questions was going to be, did you have any experience that led you into doing your micro enterprise? Do you think, working from the pub and going to where you are did help with that sort of relationship stuff you were talking about?
Yeah, I think so. I guess being people facing is important. And even now, so I'm studying to be a mental health nurse. Because of my interest with dementia, I'm going to hopefully specialise in older adults' mental health. And that I reflect so much on my pub life and my pub work and working with people and speaking to people, how much that links in with the mental health work and links in with my my current role with Hummingbirds. Yeah, it's like I say, it's people facing, and if you love people, you love people, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it comes across. If you don't love people and you're in that kind of sector, we all see those people, don't we? It's really obvious. And you were saying, so that obviously that natural people gift that you've got and emotional intelligence, but I guess what I heard you say about Community Catalyst, they gave you that sort of that professional lift into that business side. of things. And you were saying about packs, so was that like helping you with templates and insurance and things like that? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, so I had a lot of templates, and also like I have adapted now, but I've used it a lot, like a getting to know you form. So when I first meet someone, a lot of my support planning is around this getting to know you form that I got from the Community Catalyst, which I now it's called an About You one that we use with older adults in the NHS. So I've kind of like adapted it into my own thing, and then if it's someone that's got a dementia, like a life history as well, but that's all come from them, and I feel it feels good when I hand over this pack to a new customer and say, this is all of anything you need to know, equality criteria and stuff like that. Just it feels like it just makes it that professional touch. Yeah.
And you're not on your own.
No, absolutely. No, they're always there, and they, there's we're all connected. We can all speak to each other about different things, or if anyone has a question, you put it in the chat, and someone will come back with their own opinions, or sometimes someone puts out, how much do you charge, by the way, on a bank holiday, for example, and then people will come back with different responses, so you feel like you've got a whole community around Community Catalyst.
That feels really safe. Actually.
It's nice. It's I'm privileged to be part of it.
And maybe not so much for you now, 6 years down the line, but imagine if you're starting up a business, I would imagine it's a real sort of helpful support at that time.
Yeah, definitely. And I've even had some of the some people contact me directly who are new. And I've said, absolutely, just ask away. And they, they'll just email me every now and then and say, how do you do this? How did you go about this? How did you charge people? And I'm more than happy to, feed that back. So it's nice that you can have that someone can reach out to someone who's maybe had a little more experience. Yeah.
And where did the name come from, Hummingbirds?
I think I felt like Busy Bee. And then I thought, my name's Hazel. And I wanted an H, and it was home help, so I just thought of a busy hummingbird working away. So that's it. That's
a lovely name.
Yeah, thanks.
So is there anything that you would like to say if there was anyone in the sort of the Woodbridge area, because that's the area you cover, right?
Yeah, Woodbridge, yeah.
If there was anyone out there that might be watching this recording, so not the practitioner side, maybe some of the residents there, anything you'd want to say to them that would really catch their attention to come and speak to you in Hummingbirds? Yeah,
I think the point is that it's never to take away anyone's independence, it's to promote it.
Yeah.
And I think as you get older, or if you have disabilities, your battery can just drain a little bit faster. So having one of us come in, build up like a companionship based relationship, that can just save that battery power, that maybe you don't step up on that to reach the top shelf and you wait for one of us to come and get it out of the cupboard, or just push the hoover around for you and have a little chat, or go for a walk because you want to go for a walk but maybe you're not feeling quite steady on your feet. It's just little things, and as I say, our aim at all times is to promote independence and not take anything away. So it's not about you giving up the independence that you already have, it's about keeping it as much as possible.
That's a wonderful description. You got me. So, when I need something, where my battery, I don't want to take it down, because I think that was a really good way to describe it. And I like the way you were saying, it allows them to go out and do other things that keeps them independent, that kind of stuff. So
the stuff you enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't we all want to do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is there anything you'd like to promote more about your company?
I suppose that the aim for me going forward with my studies, so I'm going into my final year of my mental health nursing now, and the whole point of that was to make a little bit more of a older adults mental health dementia specific part of the company. So I would say going forward we're going to have a lot more like specialised needs for people living with dementia, and it's really important, I think, if someone's in the earlier stages or mild to moderate stages of dementia, that they start building a relationship with someone now, because things just inevitably get harder and harder, And if you've got a relationship with us, even as a company, or not necessarily one particular person, because I do like to have at least 2 people working with someone who's living with dementia. But I just think it's, to get started now, even if it's once a week.
Yeah.
Just to get used to having someone come in, and then when things, progress, we're still there and we're still supporting, and we can up our support level as needs change. That's what I'd say. Get in touch now, and we can start building that relationship.
That's great. Thank you ever so much. It's been a real pleasure talking to you today.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.